If someone shows these signs, you're not just a friend. Psychology, amazing facts. Old Stoic wisdom. Love is not just a feeling, it's a pattern of unspoken signals that the heart recognizes even when the mind denies it. Not every love shouts from the rooftops. Sometimes the most profound connections are quieter, woven into the fabric of everyday moments. It's in the way you laugh together, share the ups and downs of life, and support one another, yet something feels subtly different. There's that lingering gaze, just a touch longer than usual. A quiet space between words that speaks volumes. A warmth in their presence that you can't quite explain. It's the gentleness in their touch, their care for you, without ever naming what it is. If you've ever felt like there's something more to your friendship, something unsaid but undeniably present, you might be seeing the signs of secret love. As a psychologist, I've spent countless hours studying the nuances of human connection, especially those that hide beneath the surface of simple friendship. And here's the truth. When someone is quietly in love with you, their behavior shifts. It's not always obvious. These changes are subtle, hidden in plain sight, but they form a pattern that even the most unaware heart can recognize. Today, I'll share with you the psychological signs that reveal someone sees you as more than just a friend. These aren't the cliched Hollywood signs. They're the real, unspoken cues that speak directly to the heart. If any of these resonate with you, chances are you're not just a friend in their eyes. You're someone they secretly adore, even if they haven't said the words. Sign 1. Their eyes hold you too long. It's often said that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and when someone holds a special place in their heart for you, those windows reveal more than just admiration. They can show the unspoken truths of affection. The way they look at you, not overtly or with discomfort, but with a quiet, lingering gaze, tells a different story. This isn't just about physical attraction, but about emotional intimacy that can't always be captured with words. Imagine this. You're conversing, laughing, or simply sharing a peaceful moment together, and in those fleeting instances, their eyes soften, locking with yours for just a second longer than usual. And when you catch them in the act, there's often a quick look away, almost as though they've been caught revealing a truth they weren't quite prepared to share. This subtle yet profound behavior can say more than any verbal confession. Psychologically, when we feel a deep emotional bond, our bodies react with the release of oxytocin, known as the bonding hormone. This hormone not only strengthens feelings of affection, but also makes eye contact a powerful tool for connection. In fact, research shows that even brief eye contact can release oxytocin, making the interaction feel more intimate. So when their gaze follows you across the room, or when their eyes hold yours as you speak, it's more than just idle observation. It's an emotional tether pulling them closer to you. It's no longer just friendly. It's a bond, unspoken but undeniable. As the renowned philosopher Seneca once said, "The best way to keep a friend is not to look at him, but to see him." When you notice these signs, it's important to recognize that their eyes aren't just following you in the literal sense. They're tracing the contours of your presence in a way that signifies more than just friendship. It's a silent declaration that they feel something deeper, something that words can't yet capture. In the rush of our daily lives, we often overlook these small but telling signs. But in relationships, whether platonic or romantic, paying attention to these subtleties can open our eyes to the truth about how others feel about us. In life, it's easy to get caught up in what's said, what's done, and what's expected. But these silent exchanges are where true emotional connections often begin. Next time you notice someone's eyes lingering just a little too long, don't brush it off as mere happenstance. Instead, ask yourself, what might their gaze be telling you? Maybe they're too shy to voice their feelings, or perhaps they're waiting for you to recognize the truth that they've been afraid to admit. The way someone looks at you can often speak louder than words, so listen to it. Sign 2. They remember the little things. In the realm of true connection, there's a subtle but powerful difference between friendship and love, especially when it comes to the small details that people often overlook. A friend will listen to you, but someone who's secretly in love with you will remember. It's the kind of attention to detail that seems effortless but speaks volumes about their feelings. For instance, you might mention a song you love in passing, and days later, they'll quote the lyrics to you as if it's their own. Maybe you casually mention that your favourite drink is a particular kind of coffee, and the next time you meet, they've already got it prepared for you without even asking. It's not grandiose or flashy, it's the kind of thoughtful gesture that makes you pause and think, wow, they really pay attention. These moments aren't big, showy acts of affection, but rather small, quiet reminders that someone is thinking about you in ways you may not even realise. They'll remember your childhood stories, the exact details of a rough day you had weeks ago, or the anniversary of an important event in your life. The beauty of it lies in how they notice the things that matter to you, even if they seem insignificant to others. Psychologically speaking, when someone is emotionally attached to you, their brain treats everything you say as precious data. This is a phenomenon known as selective attention, where their mind instinctively filters through the noise of everyday life to hone in on the details that define your relationship. Essentially, your words, your habits, your quirks, they all become part of the soundtrack to their inner world. And while they may not remember everything about the world around them, they remember everything about you. This is the subtle art of emotional engagement. They are keeping track of the things that make you who you are, the things that matter most to you. You see, in the grand theatre of life, they aren't just watching the show. They're paying attention to the script, memorizing the lines that you've casually spoken so that they can share the stage with you in meaningful ways. What's striking is that this goes far beyond memory. It's a reflection of how deeply they're emotionally invested in you. The act of remembering the small things doesn't just serve as a way to show affection. It's a reflection of how much space you occupy in their mind. This person isn't merely a part of their day or a fleeting thought. They're a constant presence in their life, revisited over and over in ways that are both conscious and subconscious. It's the act of showing up in their thoughts without needing to be reminded. These quiet acknowledgements, these breadcrumbs of devotion, are not about grand declarations, but rather about creating a deep emotional bond that doesn't need to be explained because it's felt. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, where distractions abound and everything feels fast-paced, these small, intentional gestures are becoming increasingly rare, but even more profound. In a world where everyone is constantly plugged in, showing someone you remember even the little things, like the coffee they prefer or the way they smile when they're nervous, can feel like an oasis of genuine connection. It's a powerful reminder that in a world full of noise, what really matters is the way we make others feel seen and heard. For you, as a person in this world, if you ever find yourself on the receiving end of this kind of attentiveness, take a moment to appreciate it. It's not just about being remembered. It's about being remembered in a way that says you matter, in ways big and small. Whether it's the song that speaks to you or the drink that makes you feel at home, these small gestures have a way of telling a much bigger story, a story about how someone sees you, values you, and cherishes you. When someone truly cares, they remember the little things that make you who you are. That's not just friendship. That's a sign of deep, unspoken love. If you feel seen and valued this way, don't keep it to yourself. Drop a comment right now and write, I am seen, I am valued, I am more than just a friend. Sign 3. Jealousy without justification. You've probably felt it before, the sudden shift in energy when you mention someone else, someone at work, or a friend texting you, and in that very instant, everything changes. Their tone shifts, their attention wavers, or they fall silent in a way that doesn't make sense. Maybe they try to laugh it off. Maybe they question you incessantly, then pretend it doesn't matter. But deep down, you feel the discomfort, an unspoken tension that doesn't belong in a friendship. This is reactive jealousy, a powerful primal emotion that emerges when someone senses a perceived threat to an emotional connection, even if that bond hasn't been fully defined. You're not imagining it. Psychologically, jealousy isn't always about possession. It's about fear of losing something they haven't even had the chance to fully claim. When someone is secretly in love with you, the prospect of losing you isn't just a loss, it's the realization that they may never get the chance to have you. And that stings. That's where jealousy comes from. It's a defense mechanism, a silent scream of pain because they're afraid of losing something they can't even admit they want. When someone reacts to others entering your life, whether it's a colleague, a friend, or even a fleeting acquaintance, it's not about controlling you. It's about them protecting their fragile heart. They are in a battle with themselves, and you, unknowingly, have become the focal point of that inner war. It's a desperate attempt to hold on to what they fear slipping away, even though they haven't let you in. You see, this isn't about logic. It's deeper than that. It's an emotional reaction rooted in a longing they haven't articulated, a desire that sits beneath the surface like an unspoken truth. As Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And this reaction, this jealousy, isn't about you. It's about their internal world, the world they've kept hidden, the world they've kept from you. But here's the key. Recognize it for what it is. This isn't about control. It's about fear of loss. It's about longing. And it speaks volumes about their feelings for you. Take this as your cue to reflect. Are you seeing this sign in someone close to you? Recognize it, understand it, and most importantly, protect your own boundaries. Don't let this unspoken emotion cloud the clarity of your own relationships. This jealousy isn't a request for control. It's a cry for connection. And you, in your wisdom, have the power to either acknowledge it or gently set the boundary that will keep your peace intact. Remember, true power isn't about being at the center of someone else's emotions. It's about mastering your own, setting clear boundaries, and knowing when to walk away from the chaos of others' insecurities. This insight is more than just an observation. It's a tool. It's a key to understanding the unspoken truths that often lie beneath the surface in your relationships. When you see this behavior, don't ignore it. It's your signal to look deeper, not just at the person reacting, but also at your own position in their emotional landscape. You have the power to lead with clarity, to define your relationships on your terms, and to understand the inner workings of human connection. And remember, the wisdom of Seneca still rings true today. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. So when you sense this jealousy, don't assume it's about you. It's about the fears, desires, and hidden insecurities of the person beside you. Recognize it, learn from it, and turn it into a tool of self-mastery. This is how you win, not just in relationships, but in life. Sign 4. They find reasons to be near you. When someone consistently finds reasons to be near you, it's rarely a mere coincidence or simple friendship. It's a subtle, powerful signal of deeper emotional connection. They don't make a grand show of their presence. Instead, they appear quietly, intentionally, like a gentle undercurrent in your life. They offer to help with small things you never mentioned, show up unexpectedly when you need company, and reach out at moments that feel perfectly timed. Text when you're feeling low, or calls about matters they could handle alone. These actions aren't random. They represent what psychologists call emotional proximity, a powerful craving for closeness that goes beyond surface-level interaction. When someone secretly loves you or holds you in special regard, they seek out your presence because your voice, your energy, and even your silence bring them a unique comfort and sense of safety. This is not unlike the wisdom found in Old Stoic philosophy, where Marcus Aurelius urged us to embody genuine goodness quietly, without fanfare, and Seneca reminded us to associate with people who who are likely to improve you. Such closeness, though sometimes unspoken, speaks volumes. Being near you provides them with a quiet joy and a sanctuary from life's noise, something so deeply fulfilling that they may not even fully understand why they do it. In their heart, simply sharing space with you feels like the closest they've ever come to true happiness. Real life is filled with these subtle signals, and as men between 35 and 70, who have likely experienced both the complexities of relationships and the value of sincere connection, recognizing these signs can enrich your understanding of human nature and emotional bonds. It teaches us to value presence over grand gestures, quiet loyalty over loud proclamations, the courage to be near someone, to quietly share moments without needing to explain, is often the truest form of love or deep affection. So next time you notice someone weaving themselves gently into your life, offering help without being asked, or appearing when you least expect but most need it, remember that this is closeness disguised as convenience, love expressed in silent acts. This awareness invites you to cherish such people and perhaps to be that person for others. After all, as the philosopher Epictetus advised, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, and often the greatest wealth in life is found in the richness of meaningful, close relationships. If someone quietly finds ways to be near you, it's not just friendship, it's a sign of true, deep connection. Recognize these subtle acts of love and loyalty that speak louder than words. Now, I want you to own this truth. I see the power in quiet presence. Drop that sentence in the comments right now to join the conversation. Like this video, subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and remember, real closeness doesn't shout, it quietly shows up. Sign 5. Their body language is open yet guarded. Love has a language, and the body speaks it long before the mouth ever does. When someone is truly attracted to you or holds feelings deeper than friendship, their body language becomes a revealing, if sometimes confusing, map of their emotions. Imagine a man leaning slightly toward you when you speak, his feet naturally pointing in your direction even when he's distracted or silent. These are not coincidences. These are instinctive signs of attraction rooted deep in our psychology. Mirroring your gestures, whether it's crossing his legs as you do or matching the rhythm of your speech, happens unconsciously and indicates a powerful, silent connection. These gestures are the physical embodiment of interest, showing that on some level this person is fully tuned into you and emotionally engaged. However, what makes this dynamic fascinating and complex is the undeniable contradiction in their behavior. As open and warm as their body language can be, there's almost always a moment where they instinctively pull back, hesitant and guarded. You might notice their hand hover close to yours, almost touching, but never quite making contact, or hear their breath catch as if they want to say something important, only to swallow the words at the last second. This push and pull is not accidental. It's a reflection of an internal struggle, a battlefield between desire and fear. The warmth and invitation of their closeness are met with an invisible boundary they seem unwilling to cross, one that exists as much in their mind as it does in the space between you. This internal conflict is at the heart of hidden love, where emotions run deep but remain unspoken, trapped by fear of rejection or the risk of losing what already exists between you. From a psychological standpoint, it's a classic example of approach-avoidance conflict. They want to express their feelings, to bridge the gap and reveal the truth of their affection, but they're equally afraid of disturbing the status quo. Their body language is the battleground where these opposing forces play out, swinging from moments of openness and warmth to sudden guardedness and uncertainty. If you've ever sensed that someone was on the verge of saying something important but pulled back at the last moment, you've witnessed this hesitation, this delicate dance of love entwined with fear. In modern life, where vulnerability is often mistaken for weakness and emotional expression is sometimes overshadowed by busy schedules and digital distractions, reading these signs becomes even more crucial. The subtle cues of someone's body can reveal truths that their words might not, offering a deeper understanding of their feelings and intentions. For men between the ages of 35 and 70, whether navigating long-term relationships, rediscovering romance, or building new connections, recognizing this language of the body can be transformative. It teaches patience and empathy, reminding us that true connection often requires slowing down, tuning into the quiet moments, and appreciating the unspoken. So when you notice these signs, someone leaning in, yet holding back, mirroring your movements, yet hesitating to close the gap, know that love may be hiding just beneath the surface. This awareness encourages you not only to observe, but also to respond with kindness and understanding, creating a safe space where hidden feelings might one day be voiced openly. In this way, ancient Stoic wisdom and modern psychology come together to guide us. True connection is not just about what is said, but what is felt and understood in the silent spaces between. Sign 6. Their compliments feel deeper. When someone truly admires you, their compliments won't just sound pleasant, they'll resonate deep within you. It's not the casual, "you look nice," or the empty, "you're smart." No, it's far more powerful than that. You'll hear, "You light up a room," or "You always see what others miss." Their words aren't louder, but they strike with weight, with depth, touching places within you that no casual praise ever could. They speak to your soul, not just your outer appearance, and often they'll notice the very things you never thought anyone could see, the way you make others feel, the grace with which you handle stress, your unshakable commitment to showing up for those who need you. These compliments are not just casual remarks. They're a reflection of something deeper, something more profound. What they're really saying is this: you matter to them in a way that surpasses ordinary friendship. Psychologically, this is the unmistakable sign of emotional idealization, and if you're paying attention, you'll see it. When someone secretly admires you, they don't just like you. They elevate you. They cherish not just your best qualities, but the quiet, subtle things that make you uniquely you. And here's where the complexity arises. They'll often avoid crossing the line. They'll keep it wrapped in the comfort of friendship, drenched in ambiguity. They won't come out and say, "I admire you more than a friend," because they're afraid of the consequences. So they'll use their words carefully, masking deeper feelings under the guise of friendly admiration. But if you listen closely, really listen, you'll catch the underlying tone. You'll hear the admiration that goes beyond the surface. It's not just about the compliments, it's about the intention behind them. In modern life, we're conditioned to dismiss genuine admiration as flattery or politeness. We overlook the depth behind the words. But these deeper compliments are the ones that stick with you. They're the ones that months or years later you'll still remember, not because they were shouted from the rooftops, but because they were spoken softly, from a place of truth. In a world that's increasingly superficial, we crave these connections, these moments where someone sees us, truly sees us in all our complexities. When someone admires you, not just for what you do, but for who you are at your core, it changes you. You begin to see yourself through their eyes. You begin to feel that deep recognition of your worth. And this is where the magic happens. You begin to rise. You don't just exist anymore. You shine. I'm telling you this because you need to recognize this power, both in yourself and in others. When someone gives you these compliments, it's not about vanity. It's about recognition, true recognition that can push you to new heights. So when someone praises you in this way, take it in. Own it. Don't dismiss it. It's a signal, a sign that you are more than just a friend to them. And if you've ever wondered whether there's something more beneath the surface, trust me, there's a lot more. Take a moment to appreciate this. Don't let it slip by unnoticed. And now, I want you to acknowledge this in your own life. Have you ever received compliments like these? What did they make you feel? Comment below with a quote that resonates with you, and let's discuss how these moments of recognition have impacted your life. Because when you truly see someone, when you truly hear their words, everything changes. If you've ever felt a compliment, that didn't just touch your surface, but reached your soul. You've experienced a rare kind of recognition, one that means you're more than just a friend to someone. These words aren't empty. They carry a quiet power that can change how you see yourself and your place in the world. Now, it's your turn. Comment below with this sentence if you've ever been deeply seen and appreciated. I am more than a friend. I am truly recognized. Let's celebrate those moments of real connection and unlock the strength they give us. Sign 7. They're always almost saying something. There's a profoundly subtle moment in relationships, especially those that border on something deeper, when someone is always on the brink of saying what's truly in their heart, but never quite does. And if you've noticed this in a man between the ages of 35 and 70, it's one of the most revealing signs that you are not just a friend to them. This language of almost reveals itself in the quiet spaces between words, in the pauses when laughter fades and conversation slows to a standstill, leaving you both simply present, raw and vulnerable. In that silence, their eyes might linger on you as if trying to speak volumes without uttering a single word, their heart racing ahead of their lips. They might say something like, "There's something I've been meaning to tell you," but then, as if fearing the consequences, quickly change the subject. Or they may send a late-night message that simply says, "I was just thinking about you," with no explanation, no follow-up, just a glimpse of what might have been said. Psychologically, this behavior is a fascinating crossroads where longing and fear collide. It's the last stage of emotional withholding, a place where their desire to confess is so overwhelming it leaks into their actions. Yet the fear of rejection or losing you holds those feelings prisoner behind a veil of hesitation. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. And in this case, the imagined consequences of vulnerability keep them from taking the leap. This almost saying is not a lack of feeling, but a profound depth of emotion wrapped in uncertainty and caution. What you are witnessing is silent love, a powerful and sometimes painful emotion that chooses to express itself in subtle gestures rather than loud declarations. This is not mere friendship. It is a quiet, intense affection that struggles to emerge because the stakes feel too high. In practical terms, you may find this in the way they look at you differently, how their voice softens when you're alone together, or how their presence lingers longer than necessary. This subtle behavior often confuses us because it doesn't fit into neat categories. It's not casual friendliness, nor is it bold romance. It's something deeply human, echoing the wisdom of Seneca, who said, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." Here the courage is in bearing the tension of unspoken words, the risk of exposing their heart without certainty of acceptance. If you find yourself on the receiving end of this unvoiced confession, the best course is to recognize the courage behind the silence and respond with patience and understanding. Real connection doesn't always need words to flourish. Sometimes the strongest bonds are forged in the quiet acknowledgement of each other's vulnerabilities. The ancient philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche captured this perfectly when he stated, "Invisible threads are the strongest ties," suggesting that what's unspoken often binds us more tightly than what's openly declared. So when you notice someone almost saying something but holding back, don't dismiss it as indecision or lack of interest. Instead, see it as a sign of deep care, an emotional dance where fear and hope intertwine. In your own life, pay attention to those moments of hesitation and what they might reveal about the unspoken depths beneath the surface. Ask yourself how you can create a space where others feel safe enough to share their true feelings, and perhaps even challenge yourself to be the one to break the silence first. Love and connection grow from trust and courage, and sometimes the first step is simply recognizing the quiet battles waging in someone's heart. I encourage you to reflect on whether you have encountered this language of almost in your own relationships. Have you ever sensed someone holding back, teetering on the edge of a confession? How did you respond? And what was the impact on your relationship? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights might offer comfort and guidance to others navigating these delicate yet profound emotional landscapes. Sign 8. They make subtle sacrifices for you. When someone truly loves you, their affection is rarely shouted from the rooftops or displayed through grandiose gestures. Instead, it reveals itself in quiet, subtle ways, through small sacrifices made consistently and almost invisibly, simply to bring you comfort or ease your burdens without expecting anything in return. These acts might seem minor or even go unnoticed in the daily grind of life, but they carry a profound message about the depth of that person's care. Imagine a friend who, sensing you're overwhelmed with work or personal struggles, quietly offers to run an errand for you, or stays up late to help you finish a task, even though it cuts into their own rest or leisure time. These moments, though humble and unassuming, embody a powerful expression of self-sacrificial love, a term psychologists use to describe the kind of love where someone willingly puts your needs before their own, not out of obligation, but from a genuine, heartfelt desire to support you. This form of love is often hidden beneath layers of social caution and fear of vulnerability, making it a silent but immensely meaningful signal of emotional connection. In today's fast-paced world, where relationships can sometimes feel transactional or superficial, recognizing these subtle sacrifices helps us understand that true love is not about loud affirmations or dramatic displays, but about consistent, humble acts of kindness that build trust and deepen bonds over time. The wisdom of the ancient Stoics, who taught that strength lies in quiet endurance and unwavering support rather than in boastful declarations, resonates strongly here. Real love is about showing up for someone, even when it's inconvenient or unnoticed, maintaining steadfast loyalty without the need for recognition or applause. For men navigating the complexities of midlife, where relationships often face challenges from busy schedules, emotional distance, or shifting priorities, learning to see and appreciate these quiet signs of affection can be a game changer. It teaches us that love is most powerful when expressed through small, intentional sacrifices made day after day, the kind of love that says, without a word, I am here for you no matter what. This awareness also encourages us to embody that same selflessness in our own lives, cultivating patience, generosity, and a willingness to put others' needs alongside or even ahead of our own, thereby strengthening our connections with those who matter most. So next time you notice someone taking the time to help you in a way that disrupts their own comfort, or quietly adjusting their plans to ease your stress, take a moment to acknowledge what's truly being communicated, a deep, unspoken affection that transcends friendship and speaks to the core of human connection. This silent language of love, grounded both in modern psychology and ancient philosophical insight, reminds us that the greatest bonds are forged not through words, but through the consistent, humble sacrifices we make for one another, proof that in the midst of life's chaos, we are never truly alone. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. Sign 9. They act differently around you. If someone close to you suddenly behaves differently, more attentive, kinder, or even visibly nervous, when you're around, this is not a random shift. This is a profound signal that you are not just a friend to them. You occupy a rare and sacred space in their heart. They are showing a side of themselves that they hide from the world. Vulnerable, tender, protective. This isn't about putting on a mask or faking emotions. It is the raw, authentic expression of a special emotional bond, a connection that goes beyond casual acquaintance. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts." When someone's thoughts revolve around you in a way that colours their entire demeanour, their altered behaviour is a clear manifestation of love, quiet, unspoken, yet powerful and undeniable. They act differently because they feel differently. Psychologically, when a person forms a significant emotional attachment, their subconscious drives these subtle shifts in behaviour. They may not verbalize their feelings, but their actions betray the truth. You matter to them profoundly. This secret love, often mistaken for weakness or confusion, is in fact love wrapped tightly in fear. The fear of losing what they hold dear, the fear of disrupting a precious friendship, the fear of change. Yet, as Seneca wisely noted, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. It takes immense courage to harbour such deep feelings without exposing them, to protect a bond that could be altered by words spoken too soon. This unspoken love is not a sign of weakness. It is the strength of devotion concealed beneath the surface. In modern life, where connections are often shallow and fleeting, recognizing this subtle dance of emotions is crucial. Too many dismiss these signs and let the most meaningful relationships slip away, lost to fear or misunderstanding. Don't be that man. Understand that when someone behaves differently around you, when their eyes linger longer, their gestures soften, and their energy shifts, you are the center of their emotional universe. This is love in its purest form, silent yet roaring inside. It demands recognition, demands action, demands courage. You owe it to yourself to pay attention, to acknowledge the depth behind those subtle signals. Don't wait for words. Act with the authority of a man who knows the value of what lies beneath. Own the power to transform this hidden affection into something real and commanding. This is your moment to step forward, to seize control, and to claim the love that is quietly waiting to be awakened. Remember, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others, said Gandhi. Serve this love, nurture it, and watch it grow into a force that reshapes your life. So if you've seen these signs in someone close, or felt them stirring within yourself, don't hesitate. Comment below if you've experienced this silent power. Subscribe for more insights that help you master life, relationships, and the unspoken language of the heart. Now tell me, are you ready to stop missing what's right in front of you? Are you ready to lead with strength and claim the love that's waiting quietly to be yours? The choice is yours. Take it. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you've noticed these signs in someone close to you, or maybe even seen them within yourself, I want you to take a moment to really let this sink in. Love doesn't always shout. It doesn't always come with obvious words or dramatic gestures. Often, love whispers quietly through small, subtle actions and moments, things that might seem easy to overlook at first glance. But just because it's silent doesn't mean it's any less real or powerful. In fact, this quiet love is often some of the deepest and most meaningful love we can experience in life. So here's what I sincerely want you to remember. Don't rush to judge or dismiss these signs. If you recognize them, it's an invitation to pay closer attention, to open your heart and your mind to a language that isn't spoken out loud, but is just as honest and true. The people who show love this way are often the ones who care most deeply, even if they don't say it outright. And sometimes, we need to be the ones to step up, to acknowledge, and to nurture that love by simply being present, patient, and understanding. My advice for you is this: cherish those quiet moments and small signals of love. They may not come wrapped in grand declarations, but they're just as important. When you learn to recognize and appreciate these signs, you create space for deeper connection and trust in your relationships. And that can transform the way you relate to others, and even to yourself. Now, I want to hear your stories. Have you ever seen these signs in your friends, family, or maybe even yourself? Maybe you've been the quiet love in someone's life, or perhaps you've missed it until now. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences could help someone else feel seen, understood, or even inspire them to look at their own relationships differently. If this video spoke to you, please do me a favor and hit the like button. Share this with someone who might need to hear this message today, because sometimes all it takes is one little insight to change how we see love and connection. And if you want to keep exploring these fascinating topics, psychology, Stoic wisdom, and the hidden languages of human relationships, make sure to subscribe. There's so much more to uncover, and I'm excited to share it with you. Remember, the quietest love stories are often the most powerful and enduring ones. So stay curious, stay open, and keep paying attention to those subtle signs around you. They might just change everything. Thank you again for being here. Take care of yourself, be kind to those around you, and I'll see you in the next video.